Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Joe. Today I'm going to make a fold over crossbody tote bag with a zipper closure. Now all the materials and cutting instructions will be placed in the description. I'm using nylon webbing as the handle and the crossbody strap. I'm using a zipper tape, and we have 2 rectangle rings and a slide for the adjustable strap. This bag will have 2 sets of pockets, one set on the outside and the second set will be on the inside. The reason why I said set because I'll be separating it into 3 sections. Now to start, I've done some quilting. Now you don't have to do this. I just decided to jazz up the fabric a little bit, so I did a bit of quilting. As you can see, I just stitched some lines horizontally and vertically along the fabric piece with no special measurement or anything. I just did some stitching. So, and if you want to quilt yours, what you'll need to do is take one piece. You'll need 2 pieces of fabric and a piece of batting, as you can see here. So this is the exterior of the fabric. I placed the batting in the middle and another piece of cotton fabric at the back, and then I quilted. I did the stitching along the fabric. Now you will also have a lining. So that's how I prepare the fabric to do my stitching. This will be the lining of the bag. There will also be the pocket. I also did some quilting on the pocket pieces, as you can see here. Now you don't have to do that. You can sew yours plain, but I just want to try my hand a bit of quilting and see how the bag turns out. So let's begin. So let's start with our pocket pieces. These are the 2 pocket pieces. As you can see, they've already been quilted, as I said earlier. So it has a backing, so I won't be adding any more lining to the pocket pieces because I think the backing that I used is the same as the exterior and it looks pretty good. So I made two pieces of binding, one for the pocket that will be on the exterior and one for the pocket that will be on the interior. And so we're going to alternate the fabrics to add some contrast. So for the plain fabric, I'm going to bind it with the printed fabric, like so, and the plain binding will go on the printed fabric. So in order to make this binding, all I did was fold the piece like this. I've shown you this in other videos. If you haven't seen the videos, you can check those out. I place links in the description and in the cards. So all you have to do is fold your piece like this lengthwise, creating a crease. And then you will fold the ends in towards that crease like this and press. Then you will fold it again and press. So now you have your binding. It's pretty simple to do. So I'm going to take these 2 pocket pieces to my sewing machine and I will sew on the binding to the top of the pocket pieces. In order to sew the binding onto the top of my pocket piece, I've opened the binding and I matched the raw edges and clip or pin, and then the first crease we're going to stitch along that crease all the way across. So I've stitched across using the first crease, and now we're going to pull this over like this, as it is here, towards the back. And pin or clip this down. So you take your time and pin it properly down like that, and then you're going to turn it over and you're going to stitch in the ditch right here, and that will catch the back piece, and so that to fasten this here. If you're not sure that it's lined up, just make sure it's lined up properly and it's just a little bit under this line here, so that you will catch the back when you sew. Or if you're not sure that you can get that done, you can just sew very close to the edge here to complete all the way across. So these are our completed pockets binded. I've binded the top, as you can see here, of both. I use contrasting binding for the two pieces. Now you will place one of these pockets on your exterior piece, you can either choose the same color or the contrasting color. Line up the bottom edges and the sides, and you will sew along the two sides to secure. But before you do that, we will draw the sections for the pocket. We want 3 sections, so we're going to measure 6 inch in from both ends and draw 2 vertical lines, and then we will sew along those lines to create the pockets. So I'm going to get my ruler and this is a friction pen by Pilot. It's an erasable ink. So this is the eraser, or you can use heat or just put pressure on it and it will rub out. This is the eraser to erase the ink. I think I have a blue refill in this one. It's refillable, so that's great. So I'm not sure, but I think this is blue. Yes, this is a blue refill in this case. This is supposed to be black, but I'm using blue today. So you can mark on your fabric with this and just rub it out, or use heat and it will disappear. So let's proceed to measure in from the edge, 6 inches. I think I want to use one of the lines on the bag as my separation. So this line is where I'm going to stitch. I'm going to stitch down here. Oh, and let me show you how to erase the mark. So this is the pen, and you can just rub it and it will erase, but I don't want to erase it all the way, so I'm going to leave that and continue. You'll measure 6 inch in from the other side, and draw your vertical line. So there's my 6 inch mark. And you will draw down that line. And this is where you will stitch along. So place your piece to the bottom of the exterior front, align the sides and sew along the sides. You can use a basting stitch, which is a long stitch length, or a securing stitch. Then you will sew in along the lines with a secure stitch to create the sections of your pocket. Let's take this to our sewing machine and continue. I've attached the pocket and sectioned it to one of the exterior pieces and one of the lining piece. So we'll put this aside and we'll prepare our zipper. This is our zipper. The measurement will be in the description. We're going to add zipper ends. Place one zipper end and line it up with the edge of the zip. Sew across. So I've sewn this on. You will push it towards the back like this. Fold under like so, and then match it back with the front piece, and we'll sew across, and you repeat all the steps. So we've completed our zipper. As you can see, the zipper ends are the rectangle tabs to the rectangle. So for these, the top pieces, I fold in 1/4 inch on both ends after interfacing it, then fold it in half like this and press. Place one through the rectangle ring, take it to your sewing. Well, before you take it to do that, you'll sew along the two long edges. Place it through your rectangle ring, fold in half, and stitch across to secure. You repeat for the second piece. Then we will attach this to our exterior fabric piece. So let's secure the strap tabs. Now measure from the top of your exterior front piece 5 inches down. Put a mark, and that is where you will place your rectangle ring tab and sew it in place like this. So you repeat for the other side. Let's prepare the handles. Now I'm using nylon webbing for the handles. I've got 2 pieces, the measurement of which will be in the description as well. And I've cut a piece of fabric 2 inches wide, which you can measure with the length of your handle, or you can do it a bit shorter. Mine is a bit shorter than my handle. So what I did is cut a 2 inch width, because this is 1 inch wide, and in order I want this to match, so I cut 2 inch wide piece of fabric by whatever length you choose, and I fold it the same way that I usually fold. I've brought the edges in towards the center like this and press. Now I will place this over the top of my nylon webbing and stitch around all 4 sides, and this is what that would look like. So this is a finished handle for our tote bag. If you don't want a contrasting color underneath, or the color to show up, the thread should to show up the way it is showing up here, you can use the same color as your webbing. So in this case I could have used black, but I don't mind the contrast, so I used the pink that I used on top. Okay, after that we will place these handles onto our exterior pieces of our tote bag. So let's sew on our strap handles to the exterior pieces of our bags. I've already prepared my handles. I placed a piece of fabric over the nylon webbing, and I've marked 4.5 inch in from both sides and 2.5 inch down from the top, and this is where I will place my strap, right at that point, 2.5 inch down from the top. So you can pin it in place. And you will take this to your sewing machine and you will sew a box. So you will measure 1.5 inch down, and that from that point is where you will sew your box here, so that your bag will, your handle can move back so we can sew on the zipper. So remember, you're making a 1 inch box. Right here you can put an X inside the box if you like, for extra security, and you will repeat with the other handle for the second exterior piece. Guys, so let's finish up our crossbody tote bag. So I've installed my strap handles, and now we're going to put on the zipper. So find the center of your exterior piece and the center of your zipper piece and match up, placing the zipper face down with the zipper pull to the left, like I did here, and pin in place. You will take this to your sewing machine and sew straight across. So make sure that you pin your handles out of the way, like I did here, so that it doesn't get into the way. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and sew on the zipper. Oh, before you do that, let's make one sew, because I don't want to have to do this twice. So we'll place our lining piece right sides. If my fabric don't have a right side, because this is just 100% cotton, so you place it face down. If you have a right side, you will place the right side down of your lining piece and line up the top edges. Clip. Take this to your sewing machine and sew across. So this is what you'll have, and you're going across the top. So I've sewn across, as you can see here, using my zipper foot on my sewing machine. Now pull the lining and the exterior pieces away from the zip, like this. So now you have your zip showing. You can take this back to your sewing machine and top stitch across the top so that everything lays flat. You can give it a press to set the stitch. Then we're going to repeat the same process to attach the exterior back and exterior lining. So this is my exterior piece, back. We're going to place it face up on our desk like this, with our strap, our handle pinned down and out of the way. Place the exterior front face down on top of it,